morning. Hello, hello, hello. So I'm going to wait for notifications to go out. My glasses. My goodness. So dirty. You guys are not going to believe the story that I have to tell you. But I'm going to wait until there's a few more people in here before I tell you. All right. Okay. I think we can see. Maybe. Good morning, Roxanne. And the 10-day forecast does not show us getting out of the 40s for the next 10 days. And some of those days, we aren't even going to get up to 40. So gross. I hope this is not one of those bitterly cold winters. Oh, I just don't like those. The story involves the cats and what I woke up to this morning. So I'm going to wait till there's a few more people in here. Coffee cup of the day. And yes, I am one of those people who start celebrating Christmas early. I've got my reindeer brooch on. I've got my reindeer, and I love a theme. I love a theme. So I'm all reindeer today. Good morning, Kathy. I had to run my nephew up to wrestling practice this morning and walked out there, and I'm like, ew, ew, oh. It was doing that like misting thing where it's not even enough moisture to run your windshield wipers, but it's just damp and cold and gross. Good morning, Vicki. So, ew. The coffee cup of the day. We're doing a whole deer theme. Good morning, Roxana. So let me tell you what I woke up to this morning. So now if you followed along for a while, I've struggled with my health, and I have not been able to put up Christmas decorations on a regular basis for the last few years. I've really struggled. I've actually struggled since 2017, I think, was when I started to cut back, and I did less and less each year. And last year did not put a tree up at all. My stuff was all in storage. My mom has a huge nutcracker collection, and she just let me pick out the ones that I wanted, and those went all over the room. So there was a Christmas feel in here, but I didn't have a tree in here. And I did not have a tree the year before because I was just too sick to get one up. So the last time I had a tree up was Christmas of 2020, and the cats were kittens. They were little, and my dad had come up and helped me attach it to the wall with fishing line, so you couldn't see that it was tied to the wall, but it was pretty sturdy and it wasn't going to go anywhere. And then I used only plastic ornaments that year, so they did like pull a few off the bottom that year, but it wasn't a big deal, and they didn't climb in the tree at all. So this year, I got all of my stuff out of storage, and I've been going through everything, and it's hard to decide what things you want to keep when you're not sure if you'll actually be better next year, if there will be a time in the future when your health is better and you will want to put up multiple trees. Because in 2016, I put up at least 9 trees. I was looking back through the pictures. Or if you're never going to be at the point where you can put a tree up again. Also, I put the tree up, my pink tree that I've had for years, like the whole backside of it's faded from the sun because it was sitting in front of a window for a few years. And so I put the pink tree up, but that exhausted me. So then it sat there for a week before I got to put lights on it. And I realized the cats had been sitting on it at night and like bending the branches. But also, this is the last year that I'm going to put this tree up because it is faded. It's a lot of the, like, it's looking bad. It's looking bad. I've had it for a long time. But I was like, oh, really? And they're only sitting in it when I'm asleep. They aren't sitting in it when I'm awake. They don't go near it when I'm awake because they know they're not supposed to. So I got the lights on it last night, and then I started putting ornaments on it before I went to bed. And not put all the ornaments on it, but I've got a good number. All but like 2 or 3 of them are wooden or they are plastic. So it doesn't matter if they knock them off. Get up this morning and they'd done a rampage through the tree and there were at least 5 ornaments on the ground. And so then I hear them doing something and I'm like, what, did they roll one of the round ornaments underneath my desk? So I get up to check and here comes Blue walking by me with the mouse in his mouth. A real live mouse in his mouth. And he looks straight at me and he growls. My cat has never growled before. And so I went and I found my mom and I'm like, that's it. We have to burn the house down. We can never go in that room again. Of course, by the time my dad came in to check, mouse was gone. I think the mouse is over there underneath the refrigerator because Blue is sitting over there looking underneath the refrigerator. Good morning, Alice. So yeah. And I'm not one of those women that is like afraid of mice and I scream. And, you know, they had chased 3 either mice or one of them might have been a mole in my old apartment. And they just chased it around like they weren't catching it. And so eventually I got a Tupperware piece over it, slid a paper plate under, and just took it back outside. But this time he like just full looks straight at me and growls at me. And I'm like, and it's in his, I'm like, I am not messing with you and that stupid mouse. Good morning, Jazdia. So somewhere in here, there's a mouse. I strongly suspect it is over there underneath the refrigerator. Ooh, I could not deal with that. In our old house, the next door neighbors had a cat that would go in and out of our house as well as their house. And he would leave rodents and birds, dead rodents and birds, on the doorstep for me and for the neighbor. And she would scream and her partner would have to come and scoop it up and get rid of it. And I'd just be like, oh, look, this cat thinks we can't take care of ourselves, so he's bringing us food. Isn't that nice? Yeah, Roxanne, especially didn't know that my sweet baby cat growled. He just growled right at me. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. What are your plans? Drop it in the chat. I want to know. My daughter and her boyfriend are coming down and we're having Chinese. Just the 3 of us. That's what we're doing. Because we're in transition and mom's been packing things and getting rid of things, and because she's also getting older, we were not going to do the big family Thanksgiving here. And so he definitely did not want to share that mouse with me. Cats are so funny because sometimes some cats feel like they're taking care of you, but he is totally my baby. Like he will let me hold him like a baby. So he really does, I think of me as his mom. So he didn't need to feed me. Kathy's doing baked chicken and stovetop. Yum. And I don't even have to miss out on the pie because mom's going to make a pie and save me a piece. So I'll still get pie even though I'm having Chinese. And then we did this thing where she decorates on Friday. Like this is a whole weekend for us. So usually, Alice, we're hoping Meg's going to call today and check to see if that Chinese restaurant is open. If it's not, they're actually going to come down Friday. But we're hoping it will be. The little village we used to live in, their Chinese restaurant was open every single year up until 2020 on Thanksgiving. But I don't know. So I'm being flexible. But normally we would do the big Thanksgiving meal on Thursday. And then on Friday, my mom would decorate. And then on Friday is the Ohio State versus Michigan game. And so the boys would come over and my sister would come into town. And so it's a whole weekend for us. So there's lots going on. Good morning, Delbert. Let's see what Jazzy is doing. They're doing their Thanksgiving on Friday. Yeah, I'm not a fan of turkey either, Roxanne. Unless my dad smokes it. I found that is the one way that but pretty much anything you put in the smoker, I'm going to love. I just like smoked food. But I'm a spiral ham girly all the way. Hi, Rebecca. So even though we're not doing the big Thanksgiving on Thursday, we are still, the girls will come over and help my mom decorate on Friday, and my dad is still having people over for the game on Saturday. So busy weekend, you guys. Coffee cup of the day goes along with my reindeer. Awesome. Rebecca's having Mexican food. And you guys, I've been going through, now mind you, I haven't seen my stuff in a year. Last year, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I did the coffee advent calendar all throughout the year or all throughout the month of December. I cannot afford the one that I normally get, which is from Coffee and Tea Junkie. Donna's got to work Thursday. Thank you, Donna, for working on a Thursday. Coffee and Tea Junkie, their coffee is organic, and it's fun because you peel back the sticker to see what the flavor is, and the little sticker has a little saying on it, and the flavors don't taste real chemically. So that's why I like Coffee and Tea Junkie, but can't afford it this year. So I sold the washer and dryer that I had stored in the storage unit and paid off a bill, put gas in my car. But I did buy myself something. This is the Aldi coffee advent calendar. So I didn't even look. The flavors are listed on the back, but I have not looked at them because I don't want to know. I want to be surprised. So super, super fun. And last year, if you followed along with me, then you know that I did I thrifted Christmas cups all month long, and then I sold them. I gave some as gifts. But that was because all of my stuff was packed up in the storage unit. So I'm unpacking Christmas stuff and I'm finding mug after mug after mug after mug. You guys, I so far have found 29 Christmas mugs. 29 Christmas mugs. So I have a lot of Christmas mugs. Hi, Katie. Okay, let's see what everyone is saying here. Yeah, spiral ham is my favorite, Kathy. Yes, Delbert, I have a mug problem. Except it's not hoarding when it's just one thing. It's just a collection. Me too, Kathy. I worked retail for years and years and years. My very first real job, because I babysat until I was 16. Then I worked at Kmart. And then I was a manager at Children's Place for 5 years. And managers would have to work 12-hour shifts because they would want as many of us there as possible in the busiest time of day. So the three of us would overlap. Except the last year I was there, we have a outlet store in an outlet mall that's a half-hour drive from here. I had to go and help out at the outlet mall. I had to be there at 5 in the morning. I worked a full 8-hour shift and then drove home and went to my store and closed my store. And I can't remember if it was another 6 hours or that was a long day. Long day. I miss blue light specials at Kmart. Yeah, we had a cafeteria. When I started working there, they didn't even have scanners yet for UPC codes. I remember they installed the scanners while I was working there, and then the items that had come in without UPC codes on came in with stickers, or we got sent stickers then. And so on evenings when we were slow, they would send the cashiers out to be putting stickers on the items that did not come in with UPC codes. That's how old I am. The one other thing I wanted to show you guys this because it's so fun. I've never actually had Poppets before. And, you know, the fidget toys, and I never had them. So I had no idea that they had like little stories with them and they come with trading cards and stickers. And like, I didn't know, but I saw a TikTok where they were opening the Christmas Poppet. So if you're going to buy one of these, spoiler alert, you will not want to look. But this was so much fun. And I didn't know that you had one package that came. Good morning, Kraken. One package that came and it said open first. And then each one would have a little clue on the card that would tell you. So here's the little stickers. So each card would give you a clue to go to the next one. Oh, I dropped a sticker. You guys, now look away if you're going to buy them because there won't be a surprise if you're going to buy them. But these are so stinking cute. This one, the lump of coal, as you play with it, turns pink. As your hands warm it, it turns pink. Love that. And then you got the tiny baby gingerbread here. He has the best sound, but that pop is the hardest to. This one smells like peppermint, you guys. It smells like peppermint. Kid you not. Got a Christmas tree. And then this one, he doesn't glow in the dark, but he's UV reactive. So if you take him out in the sunlight, look, he turns blue and then he fades back to white. So I'm in love with this little. I had no idea that these Poppet pets had these whole stories and these old adventures, and there's a whole thing with them. And of course, I did not know. Good morning, Apple. So super fun little fidget toy that's Christmas themed, so I love it. Let me stick all of this back in here. I'll have to remember to pick the one up off the floor that I dropped. Good morning, Marcy. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Okay, so it looks like we have enough people here that I can draw our altered book project. We switched to a smaller bowl. Guys, there are only 6, including today. There's only 6 Wednesdays left before the end of the year. Can you believe that? So after today, there's only 5 coffee in the chat left in the year. Okay, we're going to go with this one. So highlight all the letters in your name. Highlight all the letters in your name. And I'm going to show you an example where my daughter did that in hers. So she went through. Did she do Meg or did she do Margaret? She did Margaret. But how fun does that look? She highlighted all the letters in her name. Oh, and there she put it on the bottom. So super simple. Oh, and if you came in and I missed you coming in, I'm sorry. Hello. Thanks for being here. So if you guys, I had a point to asking what everybody was doing for Thanksgiving. So if you guys are going to be alone for Thanksgiving, you have to go and watch Catherine Young's video, How to Be Alone But Not Lonely. It's excellent. Excellent. Such a good video. But Daniel will be live tomorrow morning at 10 Central, which is at 11 Eastern. You guys will have to tell me. Yeah, Roxana, I liked how she did that. But, oh, you know what? I think I'll have to borrow some highlighters from my mom to do mine. I don't think I even have that many of colors. Oh, Marcy, I don't know. I don't know. I do have other books ready to go. But anyway, make sure that you watch Catherine Young's How to Be Alone But Not Lonely for the holidays. And if you are alone, or if you are baking and you're in the kitchen, you can turn Daniel on and have him on in the background. But tomorrow morning, 10 Central, which I believe is 11, he will be on tomorrow morning. My nieces are coming over tomorrow morning to watch the dog show together, which is cute. We always watched the parade. So I will probably have the parade on down here, but they will have the dog show on up there. Wanted to show you guys a couple more things. My mom, as she's doing the clean out. Oh, sure. It's actually a dress. See the pattern? It's like an ugly sweater pattern, but it's in a lighter material, so I'm not like super hot. And then look at the leggings, you guys. They have deer on them too. I found these, I think Gabe's a few years ago, and I just pull them out and I wear them for the entire next month because they're comfy and they're soft. And so anyway, mom was cleaning stuff out and she found this jar and she's like, do you need another one? And I'm like, well, I don't, but I could stick all those necklaces in it that I had up for sale. So now I've added to my junk jar. I've added to my junk jar. It looks super cute. So I want to show you guys that. And my goal today is to get this redone for Christmas. I thought I would get to it last week, but I did not. And then she pulled this out. This was my grandmother's. I have loved this my whole life. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, I love it so much. I cannot believe that she finally passed this down to me. My grandma used to have it sitting in the corner and it had fake flowers in it. And then when my mom had it, she had peacock feathers in it. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, I love it. Love it, love it. Oh, Roxanne, I'm sorry. I'm wearing, you can't see them because they're so tiny. Look at my earrings today. I went with a whole theme. No, this one's not Roseville. This is it Hall or Hull? I have to look at the bottom. My other grandmother had a Roseville piece that's the cookie jar. Yeah, this is a Hull. Oh, I love it. I love it. But the cookie jar, Mom's not ready to let go of the Roseville cookie jar yet. So that is still sitting up there in a place of pride in the dining room. Thanks, Katie. I have not even worn one of my tiaras lately, you guys. It's hard to wear a lot of jewelry when I'm in a lot of pain. So I just haven't been wearing a lot of jewelry. Yeah, the cup matches too. I'm telling you guys, I love a theme. I love a theme. My family thinks I'm crazy. My sons were mortified to be out with me in public when they were teenagers. Mortified. Because yes, this is just, I go out in public like this. Now, I do not have reindeer socks that are thin enough to wear with my tennis shoes. I do have reindeer fuzzy socks. So when I take my tennis shoes off later, I have my tennis shoes on. If you missed it, I said earlier I had to take my nephew up to wrestling practice today because they're off of school, but of course the boys that play sports are still in their sports. So I had to run them up. So I actually had to put on real shoes instead of just wearing my fuzzy socks around the house. But I may have to go and pick them back up at 11. And if I do, I won't be able to take my tennis shoes off until then. And then I will put on my fuzzy socks with the reindeer on it because I love a theme. I am super excited. So if you're not following me on Instagram, but you're on Instagram, I'm Claudia K Vintage over there. Starting December 1st, I will be posting what flavor I got for the day. And I will have a different cup. 29 cup. I own 29 cups. So I absolutely have 24 cups. Every day will be a different cup, and you'll get to see a different cup on my Instagram. And I'm just hoping that the Aldi, I've never been disappointed in an Aldi product, but I've also never gotten one of their advent calendars before. So I'm hoping that the flavor that they put in their K-Cups is not real chemical. You know, sometimes the flavored coffees just taste like chemicals. So I'm hoping it's not real chemical. I mean, I'll drink it anyway because it's coffee, right? But I know, Kathy. No hats. They're still sitting there. Sometimes it just hurts to wear extra things. These probably will not stay on because as tiny as they are, I'm very aware that they are hanging off of my ears right now. I think that was everything. I cannot wait I've got the totes sitting over here, the Christmas totes. Hey, Kaz. So I cannot wait to get the swans back over there where they're supposed to be. And next week it'll be Christmas behind me. I'm so excited. Christmas is just my favorite time of year. And it always has been. Always. And we grew up, you know, my dad was a preacher, so we grew up with Christmas being about Christ's birth and Christmas not being about presents. And my mom's style of decorating is very classic green with white lights, and you know, it's not big, loud, and exploding. But we would go to my grandparents, and my grandpa would have the blow molds out in the yard. He'd have the C9s in the trees and the bushes. And oh, Alice, 90% of my clothes are all comfy clothes. Men's pajama pants, I will live in them. If I don't have to leave the house, I am probably wearing men's pajama pants. Yeah, I couldn't even put rings on today. Yeah. But my grandpa, so my style of decorating is more like my grandpa's, where Christmas just threw up on the house. Where my mom's is, you walk in, you're like, oh, everything's so pretty. And you're like, oh, wait, that's white angels over there. Like, it's not in your face Christmas. So it was so funny that we would, the juxtaposition between our house for Christmas and grandma and grandpa's house for Christmas. And I think that's what set my Christmas style and my love. Like, they had a lot of the old vintage stuff that they were still using. So, oh, and I didn't tell you guys. So I did lose a couple of things in the storage unit. When we got in there, two pieces of furniture, and I may have mentioned it, two pieces of furniture had mold. One was a press board, so it didn't surprise me that, because my apartment kept getting flooded. I don't know if you guys remember that, but the apartment that I was in a little over a year ago kept getting flooded. And so it didn't surprise me that the CD bookcase type thing that I had my 1,000 CDs on had gathered damp and then molded while it was in the storage unit. That did not surprise me. And I lucked out. Oh, Roxanne, I'm so happy. It's amazing. That tablecloth's amazing. I lucked out that even though mice had run through things, like we found mouse droppings on top of the totes, they didn't get into anything. So I've not found a single thing where a mice got into anything except for a cat box thing. The cats didn't even like it. They didn't like to get into it. So that just went in the trash. But that was ruined. And then the dresser that was my changing table when I was born was moldy. So, and that was the one that was in the bathroom. The bathroom got flooded at least twice. So apparently back behind there, it had wicked up some water and I didn't know it. So then when it went in the storage unit, the mold grew. So there were two pieces of furniture that I lost. And then I got into my Christmas stuff, and one of the snow globes had leaked and everything in it was ruined. It was all of my favorite. It was the only stuff that I had put out in Christmas of 2021. It was all of my vintage Santas. It was decorations that were my grandmother's. It was the German nutcracker my friend had brought me back when he went to Germany. So it was a real German nutcracker. So lost the entire tote of my favorite Christmas things. And I was so upset for a couple of days. Like, I didn't even want to decorate for Christmas. I was like, forget it. I'm not getting anything else. I'm okay now. It was very sad. But lost that whole tote. So there will not be any vintage Santa figurines sitting behind me. They are all gone. And it was like my spaghetti Santa Clauses. Some were salt and pepper shakers. A lot were salt and pepper shakers because I had a whole collection of that. And the thing was, even if I could have scrubbed them clean, you have no idea how much mold has gotten up inside of them that you just can't get out. And if I had scrubbed them, because I did try and clean a couple, the cold paint was coming off and they wouldn't have had any red left on them, even if I could have gotten the mold off of them. So the whole tote was a complete loss. It was upsetting. But sometimes things happen and stuff is just stuff. Stuff is not people. You still have the memories of the people who gave the things to you. So I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Things like that happen. And because of the amount of mold that was in that apartment, it could have been so much worse. I could have gotten into that storage unit after a year and everything could have been ruined. And it wasn't. It wasn't. So And it wasn't mice eaten. You know, it's sat there for a year. We've only gone in there like 3 times in the last year before we pulled everything out. So really, I was fortunate. I was fortunate. And I've heard from people where they've had storage units where the storage unit flooded and they lost everything. And hi, Helen. So it could have been much worse. I'm just moving on. I was sad for a little bit, but I'm okay now. So because tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and I'm not doing the big Thanksgiving where I go around the circle and everyone in the family, all 30 of us, says what they're grateful for, I'm going to tell you guys what I'm grateful for. And if you want to pop it into the comments below, you can tell me what you're grateful for. So even though it has been a rough year for not just me, but for a lot of people, there are absolutely things I am so grateful for. And number one is you guys. You guys show up every week. You hang out with me. We talk. We have fun. A lot of you are doing the Altered Book Project with me, which if you need, this is this week's prompt. Highlight all the letters in your name. You guys, some of you message me. Some of you email me with encouraging things or with links to things you think will help my health. Some of you have sent me cat food and treats for the cats and litter, or supplements and icy hot patches. Like, you guys, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful because you guys are just amazing. I fell in love with this community, you know, back in 2021, right after my sister died. And so you guys are just amazing. And I so appreciate all of you. And then, even though he growled at me this morning while carrying that mouse right past me, I am grateful for my kitties. If you missed the story, if you're just coming in, I heard a weird noise this morning, not a normal noise. And here, Blueberry had caught a mouse and he's walking past me with this mouse still alive in his mouth. And he growled at me. He growled at me. I was really afraid I'd walk back in here and he would have killed it and it would have been on my bed. Ugh. I'm not cool with that. But when my dad came in here, he'd already let it go to play with it. And I really think it's under the fridge. But despite the mouse situation this morning, I am grateful for my cats. Yeah, they really are. And I don't know how much I've ever talked about this, but Blueberry from the very beginning has very much been a not a therapy cat, but he will alert me when I'm overdoing it and I am about to cause a fibromyalgia flare up. And the first couple of times he did it, I was like, wow, that's really, like, he was insistent about it. He had jumped, I was doing dishes and he had jumped up on top of the refrigerator. He'd signaled to me a couple of times. He was trying to get my attention. I'm like, dude, I'm busy. I'm doing dishes. I can't pet you. My hands are wet. He got up on top of the fridge and actually jumped onto my shoulders. And this was before he was full grown, but he jumped onto my shoulders. And so I sat down with him because he was being so insistent about wanting attention and realized how much pain I was in. But I didn't connect it yet. And he did it a couple more times. And I'm like, he's alerting when I'm overdoing it. And he's still, to this day, he will alert when I am overdoing it. So service cat. So I know it sounds crazy, but he absolutely does. Harley does not. She does not care. As long as I have fed her and scooped her litter box, she probably wouldn't care if I was laying there half dead. But Blue alerts when I am overdoing it. And he will make me sit down. And then he will cat pin me so I cannot move again. But I'm very thankful for my cats. course, I'm also absolutely thankful for my daughter. Daughters are different than sons. And she FaceTimes me at least once every day, sometimes up to 5 times a day, depending on how her day is going. But she's amazing. Her boyfriend is amazing. You know, they've been coming down to help. So, and then I'll do one more. Last but not least, my parents. My parents for letting me stay here for the last year. And now, when the house sells, we will be going our separate ways and figuring out where we're going to live in smaller places apart from each other. But it's been so much fun this last year getting to know them all over again at this stage in our lives. Because the last time I'd lived at home, my babies were really little. I had toddlers and a newborn when I moved in here. I was going to school. They were working full time. We were ships passing in the night. We hardly ever even saw each other. So to live here now and to get to sit down and put together a puzzle with them or play a game or just chat every morning, like it's been so much fun to get to know them at this stage in their life and at this stage in my life. So very grateful. Of course, I have 50 million more things I could be grateful for, but those are my top 4. All right, guys, no sale today. I did not want to have to worry about trying to invoice people with Thanksgiving being tomorrow, with people coming over to help my mom decorate Friday, and then with the game, the big game, Michigan versus Ohio State game on Saturday with people coming over. I just decided not going to do that. So no sale today. And that's it. That's everything. I'm going to decorate this. That's my plan. And so next time you see me, it'll be Christmas behind me. Super excited about that. All right, you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. If you are alone, Catherine Young's video was so good about how to be alone but not be lonely. I loved it. I watched the whole thing. I shared it because it was so good. So go watch that. And also, if you have time tomorrow morning, Daniel will be live on his channel, Tacky Is Me, at 10 Central, which should be 11 Eastern, I believe. It's been a while since I had to. Sorry I had to rush you for mine. What are you talking about, Kathy? Okay. Well, Kathy, you can email me whatever that was about. Or maybe you're talking to somebody else. I don't know. All right, you guys. Have a good one. I'll see you next week. Oh, okay, Kathy. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.